Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Life! Yeah.
Running off the smell of an oily rag. Isn't it so cool? Isn't it a dag to be free? To be free and young. Going to my friend's house for something to eat. Hanging in the library to get off the street, so sweet. Being free and young. Everyone was saying your eye was off the ball. Your saw was rolling down a hill. Did you not know that I could fall? Hey, I'm not here to judge. I know you did your best, working and playing hard, 'cause things were amiss, I know. But you know I had a great time being free and young. But you know what, it would have been nice if you checked in on me to see if I was fine, and I probably would have said yeah. But if you looked in my eyes, you would have seen I was just a kid the whole time. Running off the smell of an oily rag. Isn't it so dark? Isn't it a drag to be free? To be free and young. Postering with Bella, pasting weed, smoking in the playground to feel my feet so beat. Being free and young. Thank God for Selena, we've always said that whenever I was down, I could always go back to her. Hey, I'm not here to judge, I know you did your best, working and playing hard, 'cause things were amiss, I know. But you know I had a great time being free and young. But you know what, it would have been nice if you checked in on me to see if I was fine, and I probably would have said yeah. But if you looked in my eyes, you would have seen I was just a kid the whole time. I was just a kid and the world is kinda big, and I'm angry what you didn't do. I was just a child and the world was kinda wild, and you're lucky what I never knew. I was just a kid and the world was kinda big, and I'm angry what you didn't do. I was just a child and the world was kinda wild, and you're lucky what I never knew. I was just a kid, I was just a kid, I was just a kid. I was just a child, I was just a child, I was just a child.
Wow, Vera Ellen, everyone. Kia ora koutou katoa, kei te whakaronga mai koe ki te Radioactive FM and today's active live session made with support from New Zealand on Air. And we're, of course, joined live in studio by Vera Ellen. I'm Lydia. How's it going?
Hi. It's going good. This is Bella.
Hello.
Bella is in my live band and also did BBs on record as well.
Thank you.
Lovely
Nice
to have
be
you
here.
both in studio this afternoon. So I guess speaking of your album, should we jump straight into it? This was released less than or a week ago,
Yeah.
I suppose. How does it feel to have this beautiful body of work out for the world to enjoy?
It kind of hasn't been that long of a process in between writing the record, recording the record, and releasing it. So last time I had a lot longer of a build up, and by the time it came out, I was kind of like quite detached from the material. This still feels like fairly raw. So it's both kind of scary, but also mostly just been really nice, and I've been able to have conversations with people about really vulnerable things as a result of it. So that's been really sweet.
Yeah, of course. That must be such a different, also just way to come about creating an album. I mean, I've been excited about it since you released Home Wrecker, but it must be like, what was the process like of getting so much out in such a short period of time?
Wait, what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean the videos, or do you mean like recording the record?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, it's my favorite. It's a lot of work, but it's also what I live for, and it's like my favorite thing to do. So it's the kind of creative work that's really fulfilling. And when you're sort of in a project and you're really obsessed with it, that's where your focus is. That's all you want to do. So you're not really thinking about like, oh, I'm doing a lot. You're just kind of like, all right, this needs to be done, and you're just in the zone. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And this album is titled Ideal Home Noise, which is such a cool collection of words, really. And I think it feels quite interwoven with a lot of the lyrics throughout the record. Was that like your intent, and what came first, the title or the songs?
The chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Well, I came across Ideal Home Noise as a phrase a really long time ago. And actually, It's Your Birthday was going to be called Ideal Home Noise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But then, like, when I had demos and I brought it to Mark with the demos, that was the name. But it just didn't feel like Ideal Home Noise at the end. It was like, this isn't the album. But this one, so I went into this one with the title, but this time the songs really fit the framing, and a lot of them are referring to different versions of home, whether that be place or like childhood or the self. And so then I felt that was perfect. And then also the words ideal and noise, and how they kind of corrupt the home. And yeah.
Very cool. Speaking of like the content of these songs, this album really swings through highs and lows. You can also feel that with like just the style of the overlapping voices and different musical elements throughout it. Was the story like something you intended to create over the course of it?
It's one of those magic things that happens when you're working on something, where you don't really know what you're doing, and then at the end you're like, oh wow, okay, like all of these things connect. But I was very intent on the song order, and took like like it went through so many variations, and I really thought about that so much. And it does tell a story, so it's a little bit of both, like intentional and also unintentional.
And as you mentioned, some of these tracks like touch on some really intimate subjects. How did you find balancing that with the more sort of upbeat, fun and youthful tracks and bits and bobs?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think lyrically they're all pretty dark. And then how that gets translated is just like up to whatever I feel like sounds good with it. So I think there's variation musically, but actually the lyrical content is pretty consistent.
Yeah. So I love songs like that where they kind of have a complete mismatch between the lyrics and the style, and it's confusing, but so great to listen to. And speaking of that sort of story, whether intentional or not, the music videos that you've released with Sports Team along with this album, that definitely tells a story. Where did that come from?
That was a collaboration. I kind of went to them and told them I wanted to do a short film type thing, and they were super into that idea, and we kind of talked about the different symbolism in the songs, and they just came with this kind of brilliant idea about this like youth sucking vampire type character. And but they kind of like, they had the songs, and so they like thought about it as a journey, and then it worked kind of in that way. But it was such a fun process.
It was really fun. It was such a fun day doing Lenny.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool having my band in it as well, and because my band's really cool.
Oh, shucks.
That's such a fun summary of a youth sucking vampire. Like, I don't even think I got that really. I was just like, I don't even know what's going on. This is so cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
So speaking of some cool, fun stuff, do you guys want to play another song?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So that song was called Smell of an Oily Rag, if you didn't pick it up by the amount of times I sang that. And this one's called Prayer Ambulance. Also, just shout outs to my brother Albert River, who's on the second verse, and he isn't here, so I'm singing it for him.
I don't remember before this. It's like one hit and you're down, babe. No use speculating whether you're going or staying. Either way, I'm not leaving you. And if I get another pitied look from a doctor who's probably none of 22, I'm gonna give him one for you. I think I might just have another sip of this drink when I think of life without you. Or if when you wake up you don't remember a thing, what does that make me in your eyes? I'm tired, I can't be strong anymore now, crying on the hospital stairs. We drive fast on the highway. It's the longest drive I ever taken. I can feel my body shaking. I got a bad feeling. And then we're taken to a quiet room with a doctor, and I'm floating above my body, just thinking out, am I gonna tell anybody? I might have another sip of this drink when I think of life without you. Or if when you wake up you don't remember a thing, what does that make me in your eyes? I'm tired, I can't be strong anymore now, crying on the hospital stairs. Everyone you love is in the hallway of the nurses. You gotta be a miracle to get out of here, thinking what the worst is. If I leave tonight, I'll follow you anywhere. All this life around me, but I just wanna get to you. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's been 10 years since I've slept, darling. There's no use in speculating if you're going or staying. Either way, I can't stop you.
Wow, that was absolutely chilling.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back to Active Live. This is Vera Ellen here in the studio playing for us. Yeah, it was a beautiful song. As you mentioned, your brother usually sings part of it as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of sort of family involvement in the creation of this album?
Yeah, so my brother played some piano and bass on the record, and did some BVs as well. And my mum actually did some BVs.
Wow.
Shout out
Yeah.
Maria.
Shout out Maria. On a couple of songs. So that was really fun, like having her in the studio and
Yeah,
at the
that's so
surgery.
fun.
And she
So
had like
cute.
the headphones. Like, it was great.
She looks so good.
How did
Yeah.
it feel having that sort of involvement of your family?
I think it's
Okay.
always been kind of like that. Like my brother is an amazing musician. My sister like fronts hardcore bands and stuff, so I kind of like grew up with a lot of family involvement when it comes to music and sort of like supporting each other, performing with each other. My mum's a great pianist, and she also has a really strong, like, gutsy voice. It's very like
Very at the Christmas parties.
Maria at the Christmas party. Like, she likes a bit of Janis Joplin. She likes to wail. So, so I think that's kind of like comfortable.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And so along with this album, you're headlining an incredible tour. What are you looking forward to about playing live?
Oh man, so many things. First of all, playing with my band. So we're a 6-piece, and we are exploring lots of new instrumentation live, because there's a lot more kind of electronic and synth elements on this record. So being able to do that with them, and it's gonna be so fun. And then also just kind of like, I'm kind of curious about what songs resonate with people live and just in general. And so after people have had a bit of time with the record, to see what songs people are really excited about hearing and stuff like that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how do you or have you experienced playing these more intimate songs live, and like how do you keep grounded and then jump back into the other music and swing through it in front of an audience?
In terms of how do I keep grounded, I do self-hypnosis before I go on stage. So I have like a little moment to myself, like a few minutes backstage, where I'll just get really quiet. Like my whole band knows, so I'll just like have my headphones in generally, and I'll get really quiet and serious just before I go on stage. So I have that process, and lots of like deep breathings. I try to make it so that I'm like stupid relaxed when I get on stage, and then the energy just comes naturally from the adrenaline. So that, and I also take off my shoes before every performance, and it's like me stepping into a character or stepping out of myself, so I don't feel as nervous.
Shoes are over in the corner.
Shoes are
there.
currently in the corner.
Yeah.
Shoes are never on.
Yeah.
That's so cool and so important to have like a real locked-in system. You always know what's going on. You always feel comfortable.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Also, I think having a band. So, like, the only times I'm ever nervous, really, is when I'm doing a solo song or performing solo. But if I have my band, all good. Not a care in the world.
Yeah, safety
Got
net.
you.
That's amazing. What was the process like of finding your band for this? Is it the same as your last album, or some new people have come in?
We've actually had a lot of different kind of versions of the band. I think the last year we finally had like a solid lineup where everyone's like there was a time where every single show the band was different.
Yeah.
and like even if it was the same members, they'd be on different instruments, and so
Right.
like it was so it just got to become a joke where it was just like, oh yeah, we've got a show, so Vera's gonna like throw a spanner in the works, and then I think it was after the Caitlin Bond shows that we started having like a consistent.
But even so, we
Listen
sort
to-
of have switch ups on instruments on stage anyway.
Yeah.
It's a lot of changeovers.
I like to give my band all of the hard work, and I just the rhythm guitar and then like the most straightforward vocals. Yeah.
And then they get to jump over the hurdles, keeping it funky, keeping it fresh,
Yeah,
trying new
exactly.
things. So you're going to be playing here in Wellington next Saturday, and Auckland before that, and some more shows down south as well.
Yes.
Huge tour, huge album. What's next for you after this? Is it time for a holiday? You jumping straight back into the next project?
I think well, according to my tarot reading,
The deep tarot reading
Bella
we did.
read my tarot so the other day, so I think I know exactly what's going to happen. I think I've already started, to be honest, like working on some songs just privately, but I just want to tour this album, to be honest. I want to tour everywhere, and I want to bring my band with me, and that's what I want to do.
Very fun, very exciting. And
see.
if the cards deem it so, it must be true.
The cards be looking pretty good.
Yeah, though the
So-
next 3 months is going to be
yeah.
difficult.
Couple crazy months in there.
Couple crazy months, but we'll get through it.
The payoff.
I'm prepped now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
for
ahead of
sure.
time.
So what's the last song you have for us this afternoon?
The last song is called Stick Around to See, and it's actually the last song on the album. So I thought that was pretty fitting to end on that one.
Beautiful. Is any other intro you want to give us before we take off?
Intro about this song?
Yeah.
I think it's the most hopeful song on the record, and that's why I ended it on that note. And yeah, come and see us play, and come and see us play as a full band because it's very different. It's less sad.
It'll be a lot of fun.
It's always really cool hearing like the acoustic solo set and then seeing it the full band live.
Yeah.
In a venue. So yeah, definitely everyone should come along.
Yeah.
This is Vera Ellen live in studio for this active live session made with New Zealand On Air. Take it away.
Thank you.
I'm getting used to the sun again. How'd it come to take this long? I never knew the light for long. You found comfort in my palm. I couldn't feel it like you did. You love me like a son. We were so much different then. I love without condition. Go to better places. But I think I'll stick around. I'll stick around to see ya, to see another day. I'll go to better places soon. I'll stick around to see ya, to see another day. I'm getting used to the dirt again. You know how to bury me. Even so, I wonder how you found comfort in my mouth. I couldn't feel it like you did. You love me like a son. I crack a window in my room. I'll go to better places soon. I'll go to better places but soon. I think I'll stick around. I'll stick around to see ya, to see another day. I'll crack a window in my room. I think I'll stick around. I'll stick around to see ya, to see another day.
I love my meow, 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 meow.
It's a sample at the end of the song, by the way. We're not just going crazy in here.
I showed that to my niece last night because she's the sample at the end of that song, and she was real embarrassed about it.
Oh, cute.
She was like, "What? What is that?"
She's a rock star.
She is a rock
She's
star.
gone places.
Anyway, thank you.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.